Hello, this is a sequel to my first video about polygonal walls in Albania. First of all, a big thank you for all your comments that will help me to improve, even though I continue to be terrible at this. In reality, I did not need much encouragement to continue to make videos about my favorite excuse to travel, polygonal walls. As sort of an introduction, here's the difference between polygonal and Cyclopean walls. The name Cyclopean usually applies for when the walls are built with very large stones without mortar, regardless of how they are fitted together. The term comes directly from ancient Greek sources that said that these walls were much older than themselves and built by one-eyed giants, raising the question of who really built them. The other name, polygonal, is used when the stones are not squared and they are more tightly fitted together, like a 3D puzzle. Raising the question of how do they build it, because up to this date no one has been able to replicate the technique. There is much more to be said about this, but I'll leave it for future videos. For now, I'll keep on reporting on the little known places in Albania with polygonal or Cyclopean ruins. Starting from north to south, the first notable location is the castle of Rozafa, overlooking the city of Shkodër. It's a massive fortification built by the Venetians with amazing views over the surrounding areas. It's well worth a visit, at least for the photo hop. On the other hand, there is hardly any evidences of polygonal walls in the location, except for a short length of Cyclopean stones near the main entrance. These are much older than anything else on site, not quite polygonal, nor sophisticated, and for these reasons they are attributed to the local Illyrian tribes. Next, going south, we reach the impressive complex of Lezhe, the topic of my previous video. The link can be found in the description. 30 kilometers down the road we reach Albanopolis, or as it is called now, Zgerdeš. Albanopolis is quite a speculative name for these ruins, as Albania is an exonym, meaning a name given by foreigners, like Hellas and Greece. Moving on, Albanopolis offers two minor yet very interesting details. One is the remnant polygonal walls. What is left is quite small and covered by bushes. But these are said to have been built by local Illyrian tribesmen, despite being quite sophisticated and tight-fitted, constituting the typical acropolis, a flat top on the hill. The second detail is a carved stairway going up the hill. Let's remember, polygonal walls are said to be defensive castles, not processional ways, despite of what you can see here, a bit north in Lezhe, and across the sea in Italy, in the town of Segni. The situation here becomes even weirder when we notice the staircase was carved on the bedrock, therefore not really appropriate for defense. But from this down, it's either go pay. Going further south, there are a few other Illyrian sites, castles or villages that I did not visit because they were hard to reach and they did not seem to feature neither polygonal nor Cyclopean walls. This comes to show the incoherence of traditional archaeology, stating that primitive tribes were able to master very different types of construction techniques. Near the coast, we can find Apollonia, the largest Roman city in the region and a very interesting archaeological park. Despite being inhabited since the 6th century BC, at the same time that other polygonal constructions were said to have been built in the region, the site of Apollonia does not feature any type of polygonal walls. Romans, like in Rome, they did not build using polygonal masonry. Finally, we go to Amantia. It's quite a ride to go up there, and the steep cliffs made me lose some of the most interesting bits. The Acropolis is supported by earthworks, at times polygonal and very hard to reach, raising the question of why to build these smooth surfaces facing the abyss, similar to what we can see in Norba, Italy. The interesting bit here is that ancient Greek sources, specifically for the case of Amantia, say they did not build these walls, they were there before. Ancient Greeks, like everybody else, say these constructions are quite ancient. In this short trip, we have encountered the habitual questions about polygonal walls. Who, when, how, and why? Next video, we'll continue to travel south in Albania, to check not the most impressive, but the most interesting places yet. Let me know in the comments what would you like to see. See you soon!